Have you ever thought about all the different ways that you could use a book once it's actually done? In this video, I'm going to walk you through 9 ways that high-level executives and CEOs can use a book to create endless opportunities for the company, for the business, and for the personal side of things. One of the things that I've noticed after helping tons and tons of people, ranging from CEOs of high-level companies to entrepreneurs to executives in corporate culture or corporate companies, is that everybody, when they write the book, they realize that there is so much more that comes from the book than what they originally anticipated. For example, someone that we were just working with, they wrote their book and it actually helped them rethink their entire career. And it helped them make the right decision for them. Their book gave them the newfound sense of clarity. For some people, writing a book is about getting leads, but it also is about reflection and personal healing. For some people, writing a book, they go in hoping it's going to get them speaking gigs, but what it gives them is the confidence. And that confidence then leads to bigger gigs than they ever could have imagined. The opportunities that come from a book are so much more abundant and bountiful than you might think when you think of writing a book. So let me show you exactly some of the different ways that you can leverage a book for opportunities if you're a high-level executive or if you are a CEO. I broke it down into 3 different categories, each with 3 different ways to use it. The first side is that internal or that company side. So if you are writing a book and you have a company or you're a part of a company that has a significant amount of employees where not everybody knows everybody, or where you're not in a day-to-day reporting to everyone or not everyone's reporting to you, or there's a variety of different department breakdowns, okay? Typically we see this as the employees get into the dozens, up to the hundreds, into the thousands with our clients who are high-level executives, leading departments, or who are running these companies. And this is for like the internal side. The first thing that you can do when you write a book is it's all about the employee engagement. So what happens here is that when you write a book as a high-level executive or a CEO where people don't always have access to you, you can get people bought into the process and bought into the company. Why? Because they start to see you guys as humans. They start to see that, oh my gosh, I've never met them, but I feel like I know them. You can generate more employee engagement through this book, okay? It starts off their experiences on a huge positive note. Next is if you are the CEO, this one's really, really great for you. If you're the CEO or even a founding member or a partner of a company, writing a book doesn't just help the business or help you achieve the goals. What it actually does is it allows people to understand the founder's story. Oftentimes when you write a come with me book, which is the type of book that we help authors do, which combines personal anecdotes, personal stories with experience, knowledge, and teaching so that people can say, oh, come with me on this journey. What you've done now is you've allowed your company to see you as a person and not just the CEO. You're allowing people to see you and get to know you. You're allowing people to understand what's going on in the company, understanding where you started and where you've taken this thing. That can be really, really valuable for your employees to understand who you are as the founder. And it's a great way for people to get to know you without having to spend a ton of time with every single person, especially if you are remote or you have a ton of employees. And then the third thing is really on the internal and the company side when you write a book is that you can have great company culture. Okay, so we talked a little bit about employee engagement, but the company culture, why it's so great for culture is because it allows people to believe in the mission, allows people to see what the vision is in your words as the person they look up to, okay? It lets people into your mind and the way you think, which is really, really a valuable thing. I remember when I was interning and when I started working with the Lakers, had somebody in those organizations that I had worked with, had they written a book about the process or the history or the vision or how we do things, I would have felt so much more bought in because I would have felt that I actually had a connection to the people at the top. I would have felt that they were more relatable. I would have been more excited because I could actually see who they are as a human being versus just like the name at the top of the org chart. But it's also really great when it comes to company culture is for new hires. All right, this is a little bonus one here is when you write a book, all new hires should get a copy of your book. Now, some companies, if you have a few employees, it's great. But when you're hiring employees over and over and over again, or you're bringing on different types of people to work within your organization, giving them a copy of your book can be a great thing to include in a welcome packet. It's a very, very cost-friendly type of gift, but it can be very meaningful. If you want to make it really meaningful, sign it, personalize it, and that is something that I promise your new hires will feel so valued and seen right from the get-go. Next category that I want to share on how CEOs and high-level executives can use a book to create a ton of opportunities is on the business side. So a lot of times CEOs and executives are writing books to generate more business for their existing company. And one of the ways that we see people use books a lot that's really, really effective is as lead generation. So giving books to your existing clients so that they can not only feel appreciated and keep coming back, but that they can give it to other people as well and be like, hey, I love working with this company. Their founder actually just wrote a book. You should check it out. Great to get leads and send it to leads in the pipeline. This is a great way to personalize your experience with different leads. So whenever somebody, for example, is in our pipeline, if maybe they come in, they sign up for something, they book a call, but they don't happen to sign on right away. Well, sometimes what we'll do is we'll send them a copy of my book. I'll sign a handwritten note, and it will really help them be more excited and more connected and be like, okay, I see it. Jake, I'm in, right? The second aspect here from the business side is the credibility factor. Now, if you're a high-level executive or CEO, you have the title credibility, right? But now you can take it up to a new level of credibility. I was just talking with one of our clients the other day, and she was telling me, she was like, Jake, the minute you have a book, the minute people start looking at you differently. Jake, people already respected me in my line of work, but now it's at a different level. People are coming to me. People are wanting to introduce me. People are seeing me as the person in this space, not just a person who's good at their job. Okay? That's a huge, huge factor. And the third thing that high-level executives and CEOs can really use a book for is for speaking engagements on behalf of the company or for themselves. All right, so you can use the book to fuel opportunities at the highest level. You can have partner companies in other departments, depending on your line of work and what you do, bring you in as the keynote speaker in front of their organization. You have the book, boom, it directs back to the company, and now you have more and more people hearing about you. So this is a really, really good opportunity to collaborate with other businesses that are not in necessarily direct competitors, but that are in complementary industries or that are in complementary divisions. Okay, we had somebody, she worked for a large corporation. I'll keep her name anonymous, but she had written her book, and then departments of the company, it was large enough, they bought a bunch of her books to give to their employees. Okay, so she was able to get bulk orders within departments of an existing company, and then bulk orders outside of that for different companies who are complementary to the services that she provides. Okay. Now, the last category that we're going to talk about here is the personal side. Okay. Because some people write books for various reasons. And here's what's really cool. You can mix and match a lot of these, and it doesn't have to be just one reason why you write the book. We always say you do the work once and you have unlimited opportunities. So here's the personal side. A lot of times high-level executives or CEOs can write a book very effectively to set themselves up for a transition. The big transitions that we tend to see is that people are about to retire or they've sold the company and they want to give back and leave a legacy. They want to switch industries or get a new role. And so the book levels them up, levels their skill set up, levels their credibility up in time for that transition. And then the third type of transition that we see a lot is that people who are high-level executives or CEOs, they love what they do. They love the company they're at. They love the company they've built, but they want to have another revenue stream. And so they'll transition into having a coaching or a consulting or doing some type of freelance work where they're able to generate additional revenue. We've worked executives of some very large corporations, and what they do is they'll write their book and then they'll use that book to kind of build their personal brand within the company. And then they'll use the book to also start to take on coaching clients or consulting clients or even speaking engagements for themselves. The second way that you can use it for the personal side is it can build out the framework for what comes next. So a lot of people aren't sure of what comes next until they've really flushed it out. There's no better way to flush out your framework or to set up your methodology or to kind of tie in everything you've learned in one place than by writing a book. And so we'll see people often who are knowing that they want to transition out of their role and start their own thing. The book is their ability to create the framework, create the outline, and then that is what is used for their coaching programs, their mini courses, their lead magnets, their keynote speeches, etc. because the book gets in as much detail as possible. And the last thing that we see on the personal side for this conversation is when you write a book, you can negotiate bigger and better raises or salaries if you switch companies. And so we just saw this happen where one of our clients, she wrote a book. She was switching companies, and when she got hired, the other company had a copy of her book. It was like, oh my gosh, you wrote this book. That's so amazing. We want to support you with this book. We think it's a great addition to what you already bring to the table. And she was able to work out several additional positive benefits in her deal structure. So these are 9 ways. Okay, these are just 9 ways that if you are a high-level executive or a CEO, that you can use a book for business growth and endless opportunities. Okay? Having a book is not just about a book. A book is the vehicle to the opportunities it can create. And I hope that over the last little bit of time since I've been going through this and getting hyped about these different ways, that you've started to think about what is the way that I could use my book? What is the way that I'd want to really write the book and utilize it for the opportunities? Do I want to have our employees know who I am more? Do I want to generate more leads from the business? Do I want to start building my own personal brand? Do I want to add another revenue stream? I didn't even go into content and other stuff, but all of these things are possibilities that come once you decide to write the book. So here is my challenge to you to wrap this thing up. My challenge to you is to ask yourself, what are the top 3 ways that you would want to leverage your book to create more opportunities for yourself or for the people that you want to serve? That's my challenge to you. That's what I got for you today. Let's rock and roll and let's go.